in biblical scriptures, you find that there is a price to pay for truth, right? As Jesus Christ was crossed and the sacrifice itself hung on the tree. What it says is that the gods require a cup of thirst, or 2 cups of thirst, one in the belly and one upon the head. And the sacrifice is actually meant to be a tradition for people to help God stay up with humanity. And what I mean by saying that is humanity has created laws. Man made laws. And biblically, no man, woman, or child is no more or no less than the next. However, we have created a system where it says different, and we are manipulated by the system to think that others have power or dominion over us as a people of kind nature, or a nature full of hatred or evil, however one wants to describe evil. But the sacrifice of the wells to Jormangandr, which is the wells at the gates of Hymyr, or Hymyr. I believe his last name is Steward. Hymyr, steward, meaning flight above the head. Hymyr, steward. The sacrifice is the exposing of truth, is what Jesus Christ did, and these were in biblical era times where law was being created for the idea of money to have power over all people. And still to this day, we have fought this type of government. It's called a bot government, but in the system of bot, meaning that God has imagined a sacrifice upon us that he may be kept up on humanity, or however one accepts the sacrifice, he may destroy us or destroy ourselves. It's a highly intellectual meaning of what we take in and what we spit out is how we reflect upon ourselves. What we take in from others doesn't belong to us, but what we spit out does. So only the strong survive, understanding that when you seek something, you will find it. So what is it that you seek? So Jormangandr, the 2 wells that are sacrificed, or in the imagination of God's likeness, it would be 2 fat men in the world, or 2 fat cows. No one could really say what it is in that aspect, but as far as the sea, which was separated from the earth into the heavens, and the imagination upon the imagination of such creations until the human body was formed, or whatever. Anyways, I'm not gonna go into all that, but Jormangandr, the price that is paid for truth, that God may know all things, the omniscient, all-knowing, almighty God. It's the sacrifice that God's people give, because we love God, and we love people too that are constantly punished by law, that has power money, whatever.